So initially I had a couple of ideas of how I wanted this thing to actually work. I was going to do puppet animation on the mouth. I thought what I need to be doing, what was it? What I want to be doing is just making it as quick as easy, dirty but animation as possible.
So the other day,
so what I decided that I wanted to do was use a bone tool, which would actually move. Let's get rid of Pat, which would actually move Phil's mouth about, and you know, it was fine, it looked okay, but I wasn't happy with it. It was harder to animate than I thought it was going to be, and yeah, it was, you know what, it was fine. But then what I thought I would do is I did a couple of tests, and I thought, well, let's just try some switch layers out, which if you didn't know, you can create these layers in Moho, which basically give the ability to switch between phenoms and consonants, etc., vowels, and create a mouth shape for each sound, and then you can switch between them using a switch layer. So I thought what I would do is use just do a couple of experiments and see what it looked like. So I tried like using switch layers and regular, and then the frame by frame animation as well, because I just wanted to see how it would actually turn out. And this one here is the switch layer. That one over here is the frame by frame, and you can't really tell that much of a difference. They work fine. However, the thing that I liked about doing the frame by frame, and it's a heck of a lot more work, was that I could actually get a bit more expression into my characters. So I decided to make my life a little bit more difficult and a bit more involved, and rather than just use a straightforward switch, I would animate the mouth frame by frame. And so if you look at Phil, I've not animated his body yet. This is all basically frame by frame. Now I'm not doing it on 1s or 2s, I'm basically doing it on 3s and 4s, just when it needs a massive mouth change, nothing too dramatic. And most of this you won't actually see initially for the first few, like the first 5 seconds or so. But then, hello, why have you just died? It's interesting. That's interesting. Moho just doesn't want to work. Let's try again. That's new for me. Okay. So as I said, I did some tests, and then yesterday I started actually animating a little bit crazy and thought, you know what, sod it, I'm gonna just see how far I can get with it, because I need to do some practice anyway. And yeah.
So the other day I was sitting in the toilet, right, and I do
sound off, and I really like the mouth shapes. Now the first couple of seconds you don't really see too much of what's going on, because actually the camera's zooming in and out. But I started really early to get a feel for the mouth shapes and to figure out, exactly where we'll be going from, and it allows me to put a bit more character into what Phil's actually saying, because the mouth shapes are pertinent not just to the sounds of what he's making, but also the expression. And hopefully that comes through in the final animation. But what it does mean is I am animating a heck of a lot of extra things that I wasn't necessarily going to do.
So the other day I was sitting in the toilet, right, and I do this shit, and it's fucking disgusting. It's everywhere. Whole fucking mess. I end up using half a toilet roll paper, and I have to clean myself up a little bit. It's like I shit my pants, only I was actually sitting on the toilet, And I think to myself, is this it? Is this one of the signs? Is this, am I getting old? And this mess is a sign of that.
That's what you're going to see for now, because obviously I don't want to spoil it. But basically, that's without any camera movements, and I've not animated his body. But I really like the extra work that an extra emotion that the mouth is taking. Plus, also the mouth animation is better. I feel it's getting better, and my skills are getting better. So yeah, it's a good exercise. So it's taking a time. We should be there by Thursday. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes, but there's a lot of frames. This is my longest animation I've done so far. Yes, it's 2 people sitting on a bench, but it's 2 people, 2 humanoid characters who have hands and arms that move and blah blah blah, and I have to animate them both, so it's actually a lot more involved. Luckily they're not walking around yet.